Hola a todos, muy buenos días. Me da muchísimo gusto saludarlos el día de hoy desde el piso de operaciones de Viva. Mi nombre es María Arisa, soy directora general de la Bolsa Institucional de Valores. Y hoy estamos muy contentos empezando una semana importantísima que va a culminar el día 8 de marzo con la conmemoración del Día Internacional de la Mujer. Así que toda esta semana vamos a tener pues foros, pláticas, eventos, conferencias que van a estar justamente resaltando el tema tan importante de este año, que es financiar los derechos de las mujeres para acelerar la igualdad. Justamente de acuerdo con ONU Mujeres, uno de los principales obstáculos que tenemos para la igualdad de género en el 2030 es la falta de financiamiento, con un déficit anual de 360,000 millones de dólares en las medidas destinadas a alcanzar la igualdad de género. Entonces tenemos que recordar que la igualdad de género multiplica y acelera los motores de progreso humano, el crecimiento económico de cualquier país y obviamente el desarrollo sostenible. No podremos alcanzar esta igualdad si no tenemos una atención expresa y obviamente recursos decididos para las mujeres y para este fin. Así que hoy tenemos con nosotros, y estoy orgullosísima, a las mujeres del Women Economic Forum. Muchísimas gracias, Michelle Ferrari, presidenta de Women Economic Forum Iberoamérica, por estar con nosotros. Y nuestra invitada de honor, que vean qué hermosa está, la doctora Jarvin Aurora, fundadora y presidenta del Women Economic Forum y del G100 Women Leaders. So I'm going to switch to English for now. G20 is an eminent and empowered club of 100 women leaders in the world with a vision of the future. G20 is a diverse gathering of distinguished women, including Nobel laureates, former head of states, ministers, businesswomen, philanthropists, investors, entrepreneurs, corporate and community leaders. A powerful group of women leaders and achievers from all walks of life who wish to give back and move all forward as architects of the future. So let me start with you, Dr. Aurora. Please, could you tell us what are the actions that the Women Economic Forum recommend to governments, business, and civil society to accelerate progress towards gender equality?
It's a pleasure. Gracias, Michelle. Gracias, my sister. Gracias to your channel for really giving us a voice. The Women Economic Forum is a global platform which gathers, CEOs, women's voices who are in the C-suite, but also across different strata of society, the government, the entrepreneurial ecosystem, women leaders in NGOs, artists, creative economies, life sciences, all sorts of fields to gather their voices and provide this platform where they can share the challenges that they are facing and the recommendations that they give. And then the Women Economic Forum, the platform such as the one which is led in Mexico and for Iberoamerica by my sister Michelle Ferrari, will gather them and have delegations to governments or corporates and continue the engagement to ensure that we can get those messages across and bridge the gaps. But for the Women Economic Forum, while we gather everybody, the main focus remains economic. So wherever we can bridge the gaps economically remains at the forefront of the recommendations and the actions. And because we're in different countries have different ways in which to bridge the gaps. Each edition will evolve their own recommendations. And along with the G100, which is more particularly to approach the governments and the institutions where the decisions are being made, the policy makers, the change makers, we go there and get the doors to open to women so we can get a seat on the table and the say on the table. So together we have a family of 5 different platforms which are like 5 fingers of the same hand but address different pieces of empowerment, and together we move the mountain of change with our solidarity and the power of collective force across the world, because we have the same issues we are struggling with, but in different ways, different colors, different segments of the whole puzzle. We are piecing it all together. And the G100 for the first time is bringing women and men together across the world from 100 different countries, from all strata of society, and we're doing 100 meetings across the world, and in Mexico is part of the 100 meetings as well, and saying let us bridge the gaps together, because it's only together that we can bridge the gaps. Thank you.
It's so beautiful. I was wondering, considering the current context of Mexico, Michelle, and if you want to add a little, what advances and challenges in terms of gender equality do you see? What do you recommend for women in this country?
Okay, so I would really like to speak that there would be more advances than we see today. I think that the advances has to do a lot more with the consciousness of the importance of really acting upon these changes, because we see a lot of talk about it. So the Women Economic Forum that we're having a pre-one today because Harbin is visiting, so we're gathering today as well. But our Women Economic Forum on the 19th and 20th of this month is getting people together again at the table, collaborating, bringing themes and things that we know still need to be worked upon. So there are certain advances, I would say, and maybe you and I can even see that a little bit in the corporate world, but we need to action more. We need to have companies show up with their data. What are they doing with this information and the action plans that they say they're going to do? They need to be transparent about that. So I think we're pushing in that direction, and maybe even yourself. I know you do a study about that with the public companies that are showing more about the gap between the salary and the pay gap. So I think we're pushing, and we're pressuring companies to do this, and we're also talking to leaders, people. What are you doing as a person? Because companies have a lot to do, and they can have a lot of resources maybe to do programs and incentivize and inspire. But on a day-to-day, we need the leader to be moving and doing a lot of what they say they're going to do. So I think advances are moving along, but I think we need to push further.
And make companies accountable,
yes,
right?
Totally.
Decision takers accountable. Doctor, what other platforms do you have in the Women Economic Forum for this advancement in gender equality?
So I think what Michelle has really said about it's truly the challenge of the hour and also our opportunity, which gives us direction in the future. But staying on the economic part of the empowerment, one very important platform that we've started, it's called the She Economy. It's a digital platform for ensuring that more money goes in the hands of women. How? It's a free platform for women to upload their products if they are entrepreneurs or they are entrepreneurs. They want to become entrepreneurs. Here is an ecosystem where you can create a free web page, like a website, and all of our community is going to do that, so that the community, let's say if you have a tourism company, you can offer your tourism products, your travel products to the company, to the community through the platform, because everybody can find each other. Or if you are into consulting, or you're into products or into services, you can find. So the whole idea is to make more money flow into the hands of women, where it grows better, builds better, gives back better. That's what we believe. That's what data supports as well. But I love what Michelle said is really about making what you said about accountability, but really walking the talk. So there is a lot of talk about empowerment, but if you follow the money, if you follow where the money is going, you will truly know where the gaps are between the walk and the talk. So I think that's what we know that gap exists. So we are trying to bridge the gap between the power of purpose, which women bring. I mean, you look at the SDGs. If you have a room full, take a sample size right now in this room and ask who cares about clean water and who cares about zero hunger. I think it's really the women's hands which will go up. But that's a great thing. That's a great opportunity. The future is female because of that. And but this power of purpose needs to be matched by the power of the purse, like Indira Nui says. So we need to bridge the gap between the power of purpose, which women have, but the power of purse, which they don't currently have. And She Economy is a step forward in that direction. And also what we want to do it, of course, empower the She Economy, women to do business with each other, people to know here are the women-owned businesses, here are the women-led companies, support them, buy from them, patronize, give them more commissions, give them more contracts, so to say. But once we have this sort of global community on the She Economy, which is really our community, community, translated on the She Economy platform. Then companies can be asked to, like, why don't you procure 25%, at least it should be 50-50, but let's start with 25% of your procurement needs. Let's say you're a hotel company, you need to buy cutlery, you need to buy bedding, you need to buy furniture. Here are the list of women-owned companies in your region. Why don't you? So Women Economic Forum can bridge that gap, and G100, all of us, whatever one platform does, the other platforms can swoop in and help the other platform, because it's really all adding to the same pool of empowerment.
And finally, Michelle, what are the expectations for this sixth edition of the Women Economic Forum Ibero-America?
Believe it or not, it's sixth edition. It's crazy how fast time passes. And so this time it's called From Word to Action, because really we want to keep on pushing people to act upon what we're talking about. So we're bringing many people together to talk about this agenda: sports, entertainment, finance, ONGs are coming as well. Obviously, it's it's an opportunity to come together again to speak about this agenda, and we're moving it forward along Mexico as well. Torreón, Nuevo León, and Aguascalientes is coming this year as well. So we're very happy to be together again, cooperating in this agenda.
Bueno, pues muchísimas gracias, doctora, muchísimas gracias, Michelle. Para nosotros es un honor enorme tenerlas aquí en Viva. Y vamos a pasar a la mesa donde nos están acompañando mujeres de la talla de veras más importante de este país, que tengo ganas de abrazar. Gracias a todas ellas por acompañarnos el día de hoy y por estar celebrando pues esto con muchísimo entusiasmo. Muchísimas gracias.
Gracias a ti,
Pasemos
María.
para allá entonces. Gracias.